What is Sphere? How does it work? Should I invest in it? Well, I'm going to answer all those questions in this video and tell you my earnings, so stick around to the end. In the simplest of terms, you can think of Sphere as a holding company, like Berkshire Hathaway, which invests its money into other companies. But in this case, Sphere invests its money into other DeFi projects. Now, not only does this generate revenue for Sphere, but it also gives them voting power over the projects they invest in, just like shareholders of a company. Now, this sounds cool and all, but how is Sphere different from other crypto projects that do this exact same thing? Well, thanks for asking, because it all has to do with liquidity. Liquidity is simply the amount of money available for trade. So if there is a high liquidity, then buyers and sellers can easily trade tokens without having to worry about changing the price or dealing with high slippage fees. And thankfully, Sphere does have a large liquidity of their own token, Sphere, and Matic, which is great, but they want to continue to build their liquidity to increase the stability of the project. And they do this using something called quantum liquidity. Now, I don't know why, but in crypto, they try to make everything sound advanced and super hard to understand. But quantum liquidity is actually pretty simple. Sphere takes their liquidity of Matic and farms it to produce more Matic. And this Matic just goes back into the liquidity pool, which is then used to farm more Matic, and the cycle continues. Now, Sphere doesn't stop there. They produce even more money using quantum liquidity as a service. Basically, Sphere owns majority ownership of an asset management system called Tetu, which maximizes farming rewards. Sphere uses Tetu to farm tokens for other projects, and in return, these projects pay a fee for this service. But it doesn't stop there. Sphere doesn't just generate revenue from liquidity, it also owns majority ownership in two crypto projects called Dystopia and Penrose. Dystopia is a DEX, or decentralized exchange, where tokens can be traded for one another. So you use Dystopia to exchange Matic for Sphere if you wanted to. And Penrose is a yield aggregator, which just means that you can stake your money in different liquidity pools and earn a return on your investment. Both of these projects are part of the Sphere ecosystem, and they both generate their own revenue, which then goes into Sphere's treasury. The final source of revenue is taxes. So when you buy Sphere, you pay a 13% tax. When you sell, you pay a 20% tax. And when you trade Sphere, you pay a 13% tax. These taxes are then put back into the treasury and liquidity pool. Now, Sphere takes all this revenue from quantum liquidity as a service, Tetu, Dystopia, Penrose, and their tax system, and they buy more Sphere and then burn it, which just means take it out of circulation. And because they're lowering the supply of Sphere, with the high demand, the price has to rise. And this is called forced price appreciation, and it should cause long-term gains for investors of Sphere. So now that you understand what the project is and how it works, let's get right into my earnings. Now, I'm filming this part as I finish up editing to give you the most accurate earnings, and I've been invested in Sphere for less than a week, so please take this as a grain of salt. The only reason I'm showing you my earnings is to show you how volatile the price is and how this is not a low-risk investment, because Sphere's market cap is only $70 million. With that said though, if you're willing to lose a lot of money, then you could also make a lot of money. On July 19th, 2022, I invested $200 into Sphere Finance, and by the next day, I was down $30. A few days later, I checked my investment again, and it was worth only $157. Now today, on July 25th, my $200 investment is down to $167 as the price of Sphere sits at 87 cents. I'm holding Sphere for the long term though, just like all my other investments, so I'm not really worried about this price change at all. Now, if you want to learn about other crypto projects such as Olympus DAO, click on this video and subscribe for more.